Hello. I'm coming to you from the locker room at my gym. It has been a very rough day of detox symptoms and hitting really what I would call my most significant healing crisis to date. And that's from even the many years I've been going back and forth between fruit and um, an omnivore diet, you could say, between fruit, meats, and animal products, because I've kind of stagnated my own progress. So I got a tooth extracted last week. And let me sit up. After that, I've had several teeth that have been issues the past several years. And if you followed me for a while, sorry, I'm in a towel and I'm trying not to lose it. I've had extensive dental issues. And I'm not going to go into that here because that's not really the point. I had gotten a tooth extracted, and after that happened, I pretty much went on juices and occasional fruits. I took a 360 in how I was eating and pretty much went on all juices overnight, with just a little bit fruit here and there, which if you understand that process, it's pretty quick to go from kind of like a regular solid food diet to all juices and nothing else. And I've been recovering from the extraction, so I hadn't really worried too much in terms of detox symptoms or what might come up as a healing crisis. Really, all I've had many different kinds of juices over the week, and then I just started eating grapes the last couple days. All of things that are very astringent. The astringency is what really is pulling any stagnation and obstructions and toxins out of the body. That's what you want, is that astringency to pull things out of your system through the detoxification process. Well, one thing I think I've really pinpointed about my personal journey is that a good part of dental issues, I have kind of come to the conclusion, or through my own experiences, are kind of a progressed symptom of your bodily state. And for me, it has been pushing out fillings and teeth, essentially, that have had mercury fillings in them. So it's been kind of a battle of wanting to get the fillings out, not sure if I can do that, and then the teeth end up breaking along the way, and then it's not worth trying to fix them, and then I'm getting them extracted just to get rid of the teeth. Because I also know that once you get a filling in, it does a certain amount of trauma to the tooth, and the process of the tooth deteriorating and essentially dying is heightened. So once the tooth breaks, it's not really a good idea to keep the tooth, and taking it out is the best bet, which is why I ended up taking out the most recent one, because it was actually irritating. So the gum tissue around that tooth was getting inflamed, which is kind of a sign of your body trying to push that out. It's like a rejection of the tooth. So that's why I did that. Anyways, today, so basically the teeth is a reflection of the acidity of the body. Your mouth is a reflection of the acidity of your body. So it's kind of that final, it's a really progressed, not really the final, cancer is really the final. It's a progressed sign of the level of acidity of your body. So you need to get detoxing and really addressing the issues inside the body to eliminate the obstructions and stagnation and toxic buildup and the overload in the body, to then be able to regenerate. Well, today I experienced kind of what the drainage. I've had my lymph nodes swollen for a good part of my life, actually, and doctors have continued to brush it away like it's not a big deal. Oh, you had really serious chicken pox. That's what many doctors have told me. They're probably just going to stay swollen. And I was like, okay, that doesn't fully make sense. But when I was younger, I didn't really think about it. So now I'm understanding that my inflammation in the lymph nodes is directly related to the congestion in my head. I've had chronic sinusitis my whole life. And I think a lot of it also goes back to the amount of mercury fillings I had. So my head is congested and inflamed essentially because of the mercury fillings that were put in my mouth. I had at least 5 or 6 of them. And those are the teeth that I'm having issues with now, which I'm essentially taking out. So it's been an ongoing issue of that. And getting this tooth pulled brought some relief to this part of my jaw and my lymph node. And I noticed it was starting to go down. But this side has seemed more aggravated because the tooth on this side is kind of doing the same thing. So as I started doing some drainage work, I was doing some lymphatic drainage, I can almost feel all my sinus cavities that run. So we have sinus cavities that run all around the face, around the jaw. And I've noticed as I get sinus drainage going, it causes my teeth to hurt, or it gives the impression that it's my teeth hurting, but it's the sinus cavities that are all around my face and my jaw that are coming to drain out of the lymph nodes. So it's this whole area that I have so much congestion. And as I'm working to drain it out, I had this pulsating pain all around the side of my face and my jaw and down my neck. And I could not find any relief. I was in tears. We took a walk today and I was in tears trying to, usually I can kind of massage out. I do tapping or little massage techniques to alleviate that drainage. But it was so intense today. I could literally feel it running, pulsing kind of at that lymph node, this side only. And it was so intense that I actually got ibuprofen, and I do not take medicines ever. And I had to lay down, I put a hot rag on, and that's actually why I'm at the sauna. So the sauna, and I had a hot shower earlier to help encourage that drainage. I actually feel a lot better sitting here. I just sat in the sauna for 20 minutes to help encourage that drainage as well. And I'm going to do a lot of lymphatic massaging, and I have a dry brush to encourage that down into the lymph nodes. This is the drainage system. If your head is congested, you want to encourage the drainage down through these lymph nodes toward the kidneys, which is what is going to drain it out of the body. So, and I also had some pretty intense stomach aching today. And like I said, I haven't eaten today. The last I ate was yesterday, some grapes, I think. I had a decent amount of grapes yesterday. So I've had very limited foods, juices, and so I've got some healing crises going on. And so I did some enemas to clear out my bowels, and that's kind of helped ease that as well. So your intestines are very much connected to your head as well. If you're congested in the bowels, you also tend to be congested in the head. And that's a really interesting connection I found in myself. If I clean out my bowels, I can feel a similar drainage from my head and vice versa. Oh, that's the other thing. I did a neti pot, and I could feel the drainage, and you can almost see this kind of swelling I've had in my face for a while, right kind of around my nose, not the bags under my eyes, but like right here. And I've had that for a really long time. And that has to do with this buildup I have in my sinuses in my head. And I actually, another thing is the back of my head. So the cerebellum is that lower back part of your head. And often a part that is your head is really congested. That part being congested and heavy is a contributor to headaches. So I sat in the shower and let the hot shower run on the back of my head where the cerebellum is, and I felt a lot of relief in the back of my head as well. So I just wanted to kind of share that, my rough day. I'm going to go home and maybe try to eat something so eating foods other than fruit, ideally vegetables, a salad, even if you have good bread products, make sure it can, I wouldn't recommend bread products, some sort of veggie or salad. It will slow that detox. So if the symptoms get really intense, you can go two ways. Either you want to help encourage that detox. That's why I've been doing the things I have today. But if it gets very intense to where you can't handle it and you want to step back a bit, eating vegetables will stop that detox or slow it at least. So I'm going to go home and probably do that and try to slow a little bit of what I'm feeling, because it's been a really intense day, especially after having the tooth pulled last week. And then I have this, and we had our cat die recently. I feel like I'm kind of a mess. So that's kind of been my day, and I wanted to share a little bit of this side of detox and what it can really feel in real time when we're going. It's not all eat fruit every day and it's like all happy all the time. Life is perfect. There is some heavy healing crises that come up because you have to heal.